Hey guys, Kamikaze here, and in the past me and Joel have done videos where we react to Beast Quest books that we made when we were around the age of 8, and this is the third. Ooh, how cool! You see, this whole series started because when we were kids, we both loved the Beast Quest series, and I myself bought and read every single book up until the 84th. And so, like I did with every single one of my interests at the time, I took inspiration from the original thing and started making my own Beast Quest books, and Joel soon did the same. And so, fast forward to 6 years later, and yet again we're going to be digging into the archives to see what horrendous monsters we can unearth. Literally. I mean, some of these books I haven't seen for 6 years since I first wrote them, so it's going to be interesting to look back and see what kinds of stuff we thought of. And one last thing I'd like to add before we start is that for the first time in the series, we're going to be doing a mixture of our books. So we're going to be doing 2 of Joel's books and 1 of mine, as well as the fact that this episode sort of has a sea theme because 2 of the beasts are water-based and the other one has tentacles. But now, with the help of my good friend Golbert Bibbercrowl, let's get into the video. So welcome back to Beast Quest Books, Shrek the Third.
Indeed, the third one.
Joel,
Yeah.
which number is it?
I think it's the third one.
No, it's 7. Anyway, this is the first one with semi-deep voices.
Each episode, the voices get deeper and deeper, and
Until in the last episode, it's like,
anyway, so book 1.
It's one of Joel's this time.
We
we're
weren't
doing the
supposed to show him yet.
What?
It's a reveal.
Oh, you didn't see that, guys.
Okay, so book 1 is Malrask,
Whoa, never seen that before.
the Loch Ness Monster. Anyway, let's get to reading. Who wants to read first? Me.
Oh.
Right. Chapter 1. I keep spelling lock different each time. The Loch Ness Monster.
What? I don't think it's in it.
I need to do an epic voice for this. Long ago.
That's not epic.
Long ago, there were 2 brave warriors called Paul and Catherine. They're my parents' names. So I incorporated my parents into this book. Yeah, just a shout out to my dad, please come back. They battled Malrask, the Loch Ness Monster. They managed to bury Malrask before they died on the very same day by scorch. 2 years ago, Malrask escaped and he lived in a lake and eat anyone who enters his lair. Quick grammar.
I eat you. Chapter 2. Time for a quest. And that's a clever allusion to how there's a 4 on the cover. They left the village to go to Scotland, where Malrask lived. Could you have any magic to keep us going on our walk? You stole my idea. Can I just say, right, it didn't make the cut, but in Dark Rock, not only do they go to Scotland, but they also get magic so that they don't get tired on their walk. This is a clear rip-off. Sorry, I don't have any left. Yeah, any left from Dark Rock.
He used some magic in the party last night.
He used the vault. But there's a secret passage underground in the woods.
It's just his basement. Chapter 3. Meet Malrask. It makes him seem like he's a friendly guy.
Meet Malrask. This guy works in an office.
Tom and Lewis came to a lake. Suddenly, Malrask raced from the lake and roared out the top and roared at the top of its voice. It grabbed Tom into the water and pulled him down to the bottom of the surface.
The surface is the top, though.
The bottom of the surface. So just underneath the surface.
That's like a few millimeters, probably.
Lewis.
2 is. 2 is.
Shut up. Lewis jumped in to help her.
In chapter 4, the end of Malrask, but we just
Spoilers.
met him. Just before Tom was about to be eaten,
Do we need to mention it again?
Lewis stabbed his sword into the centre of Malrask's stomach, and Tom was rescued. Malrask sank to the bottom of the water and died. From that day on, Malrask was never seen again. The end.
Oh.
And there's Golbert Bibbercrowl.
Show a picture of Golbert Bibbercrowl. I'm a troll, as
Yeah.
you can see.
If I could, I'd do a side by side. Malrask, the Loch Ness monster.
Let's read the blurb.
During the quest, the Scottish hat was found. The Scottish hat.
So let me explain something. In the first book, it was like the blue jewel, then it was the red jewel, and I've run out of colours of jewels, so now it's the Scottish hat. And there's Tom trying to play the bagpipes badly. Book 2.
So that was that piece of Malrask.
So
Right. So the next one's mine. It's one of the. I think it's actually the last one I ever wrote, and it's called Landophobic, the Coral Man. Landophobic, like homophobic. Laugh track. It's pretty cool. You got Lewis with minimal hair and massive ears.
that's not right.
Him.
Why is there so many people?
Charlie. Yeah, there's 4 in this one. Because, you know, they met so many people out of the beast's stomachs. And then there's Square Kanye. I think that's a decent image for my standards. Like, you can see how he's a beast with his own colour scheme. Then he's got, like, coral growing out of him. Like, he's been living there all his life, so there's coral everywhere.
The way you called him landophobic, like, it makes him seem weak. That's not the point of a beast.
So I'm going to explain something, right? So in actual Beast Quests, the beast names have secret meanings in foreign languages. So the first 2 are called Furno and Sepron. And I have a Greek cousin that was able to tell me that Furno means fire, which is an allusion to how he's a fire dragon.
Who knew that?
And Sepron,
I didn't.
Sepron is actually Greek for serpent, and he's a sea serpent.
So is serpent the sea serpent?
So I decided I'm going to try and do a thing, right, where I take the name Landophobic, which at the time, like, no one my age knew what phobic meant or what a phobia was. So it was clever because the key is that he's landophobic. Has a phobia of land because he lives in the sea. So it was clever.
Right, I'll read chapter 1.
Zed.
Who wants to read chapter on me?
I wanted to do that. Chapter 1, phobic of the sea. When the anti-gay person lives in the water, phobic of the sea.
Curb, yes, Curb!
The return of Curb again.
I mean, he was in the other book, but...
Curb.
Curb was telling Lewis, Charlie, Cameron, and Oliver...
By this point,
because
I said this right, this was the 9th one I made, the 9th and the last. By this point, they have quite a collection of humans.
Clearly.
They collected them from stomachs.
It was a water beast made of coral. They all thought the beast was to attack together. They thought it was best to attack together and survive...
Surround it.
Surround it.
It's not hard.
All of them nodding in agreement, apart from Charlie, who whimpered in fear.
What a loser!
I can't go underwater, he cried. Count me out. Why? Can he not swim or something? No one was going to let Charlie part from the quest. In the end, Charlie had to go. He's going to drown because of you. He can't swim. He made it clear that he's going to die, and you forced him along, idiots.
Chapter 2. Plan failed.
Stop spoiling it. Stop.
Imagine if, like, Endgame, imagine halfway through it comes up and says, Part 7, Thanos takes the Infinity Stone. Landophobic was 1.6 metres tall and stayed so that his feet were touching the coral. Lewis went under his leg him.
What?
What? Lewis went under his leg. Cameron was on the left and Oliver on the right. And Charlie, sadly, on the surface. As soon as they all started, they knew it was all going horribly. Wrong. Cameron dropped his sword and desperately tried to wrestle Landophobic's left arm and left coral claws. Lewis was by far the worst. He was knocked by Landophobic's free arm and sent shooting into a coral jail. He couldn't break out, and now they would lose. The end. So anyway guys, that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more daily Fortnite vlogs. No, I'm just kidding, there's more. Chapter 4 of Endgame, Sacrificing. Landophobic's attention turned to Charlie. Uh-oh. Charlie knew that he'd try to pull him out. He climbed out as fast as he could and Landophobic chased him. Oh right, he got out of the sea and Landophobic chased him. Chapter 5, spoiler alert. The great coral beast's home was the coral.
Who knew?
I didn't know that. And he was in the opposite place to that.
What? Oh, I get it. You see, he was in the opposite place because he's on
Wait,
land.
watch this. Worse, he breathing. Breathing! The beast knew it would.
Die.
Knew what? I don't know.
Beast knew it would die. Even I knew that.
Oh, that gave Cameron and Oliver time to save Lewis and get swords and darts. It did shortly after, and Charlie, phobic of the sea, had saved the day.
Wait, Charlie's a phobic of the sea.
Yeah, because he's the one that didn't want to swim, remember?
Oh, yeah.
The boys swarmed over him like butterflies seeing the biggest flower on earth. Look at his big claws. Big, meaty claws. Big, meaty claws.
What did you say, punk? Big, meaty claws!
Sounded like...
So, we were going to do 2, but no.
Yeah, the other 2 were too short, so we're sticking with tradition, and we're doing 3.
Coldro, the squid monster.
Chapter 1. Just saying, we're not reading these in order. So in the previous book, there was a horse called Lightning, and Lightning lost his leg. Just some context. Okay. Chapter 1. Lightning bolts new leg. After a shocking battle with Columbrius and Chanelus, which was a previous beast, Lightning Bolt, the horse, lost his leg, so Joel made a metal
Lightning
one.
Bolt, the horse.
So Joel made a metal one for him. Lightning Bolt hated it, but it was better than nothing. So how do you like your new leg? Said Joel. Lightning Bolt neighed angrily. Nay. Get a picture of an angry horse.
I will. Don't tell me how to do my job.
Why is there so many people? This is so OP. Today, Tom, Joel, Ellie, Silver, Lightning Bolt, and Storm. We're going.
I'm gonna have pictures of people for every single one of them. Oh, this can look so good.
We're going to fight Coldro. Hopefully, they will rescue Curb. What?
What happened to Curb?
What?
What happened to Curb?
Did you hear that once? Hopefully, they will rescue Curb.
Joel unfortunately died, so I'm gonna have to read.
Curb.
Hopefully, they will rescue Curb.
What happened?
They all set off to fight him. He was the second dangerousest beast of the week. Of the week. Not even ever, just of the week. That's so underwhelming. Like, you've gone and paid $5.99 for this book, right? You've saved all your pocket money, but he's only the second most dangerous beast of the week.
By week, it means like the week.
And there's a sad horse crying over a metal leg. Why? Just why? Oh, look, there's Caustic from Apex.
What?
Chapter 2, Coldro. I hope we find Curb, said Ellie. I don't.
What happened to Curb?
The 7 of them reached the woods of Avantia, where they would find the haunted grave. There were tombstones everywhere, and one of them said Coldro. Suddenly, a black, bony finger climbed out from a grave. Nice to have some racial representation.
You got everyone.
You gotta feel involved.
I don't think that's how skeletons work.
A black, bony finger climbed out from a grave. He was half skeleton, half human. More representation. Everyone's involved. And half squid. What? Half skeleton, half human, half
Just
squid.
don't think about it too much.
He's so good. He's 3 halves. It was Coldro.
Whoa.
He stood 3 times bigger than a man, and he strangled. He strangled Tom. Just like that. Just like that. Tom couldn't breathe, so Tom and Ellie tried to help. What? So Joel and Ellie tried to help, but they got trapped too. Tom's trying to die.
So sad.
Can you just imagine this like what? What?
Okay.
There's me and Joel actually filming this.
No, that's
video.
a horse. That's
That's
like,
not a
look,
horse.
and this is context. That's Lightning Bolt the horse with the broken leg.
That's
with the iron
not a
leg.
horse.
That's Silver the wolf. which was actually in the real books, and that's another horse. I don't know who that is.
That is not a horse.
Right, I'll read this one.
No, you won't.
Lift it up a bit so we can see.
Fine, you do it if you want.
Fine, I will then.
I didn't want you to. I was being rhetorical.
Chapter 3.
I'll just sit at the back of the classroom and make comments.
The rescue. Tom, Joel, and Ellie were just about to be eaten. Pretend they didn't say that. We're just about to be eaten. When Silver pushed on Coldrow's back and the two horses
Thanks.
pushed him over, Tom, Joel, and Ellie quickly escaped, but Coldrow cut up with them. What?
What?
He cut them up. Coldrow cut. Wait, what? But Coldrow caught up with them and grabbed Tom. Ellie shot her arrows and Tom banged his sword, but it wasn't making any difference.
Chapter 4, The Battle. Joel and Ellie charged at Coldrow, and Coldrow threw Joel across the graveyard. More and more zombies came from the ground.
Wait, when was there any mention of zombies?
Yeah, more and more. That means he must have established them at some point. But Tom and Ellie could not fight them. Why? Yes, you can. You're not doing a good job of fighting Coldrow. Just fight the zombies instead. Then Tom remembered 2 jewels that an old man gave him.
2 Jews that an old Jew gave him.
And I'm going to guarantee that they were counterfeit. It's just a guy. Tom tapped Jewel on the ground and all the zombies collapsed. It was a miracle.
I doubt it.
The jewels did work and Coldrow was weakening down. Then Tom sliced Coldrow's testicles off and he fell to the ground. Any last words? Tom said.
Give me back my testicle.
Curb has been passed on to the toughest beast of them all, Coldrow said.
What?
Ivy branch!
No,
Curb!
Why
He's
Curb?
suffering. He's been passed on. What? Earlier in the day, just meet at a cafe, grab the wizard who's like tied up, and pass him to the beast.
That gravestone says R.I.P. with what looks like a screwdriver inside, and that one says your name here.
And that's a windmill, because we're running out of renewable energy.
So the Curb storyline of it being passed on to different beasts and stuff and being captured, that's resolved in this epic book Ivy Branch, which will be seen next time in the 4th episode of Books with Joel and Cameron. So anyway, that was the video.
That was the end of the video. Anything you want to say to the audience?
Well, don't forget the sub. This is an astronaut.
What? What did he just do? What? Where's he going? What? He's going to Chad. I think. What? Oh God. We're never going to see him again. Well, that's the end of the Legacy of Joel. Like and subscribe if you like what we have.
What? What happened to Curb?